Welcome everybody to the Average Sports Guy channel. My name is Carla Pestina. I am your host, and today's video is going to be a doozy. So if you guys have followed me from day one, you know I am a huge professional wrestling fan. You can tell by the WrestleMania 17 shirt with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And today's video is going to be who is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. So I asked Chat GPT this question, and they made a 64-person tournament for me to decide, consisting of some of the best wrestlers in wrestling history. Now, do not get mad at me. I did not do the seeding. I did not pick the wrestlers. They made the tournament. I didn't check it, and I'm just going to determine who should be the winner. Now, before we get started into today's video, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more daily sports and wrestling content. Without further ado, let's get to the video. All right, so first matchup here. First of all, it's cool that we have female representation here. Becky Lynch, in my opinion, is the female GOAT, but she's going against arguably the GOAT. And I have Stone Cold Steve Austin going into the next round here. I see that I already picked Stone Cold and Sting, which is interesting because those were going to be my first two picks anyway. So Dusty Rhodes and Sting, I'm going to go with Sting. And that's mainly because of his longevity. Like Dusty Rhodes, yes, better on the mic. Character-wise, I mean, Sting was pretty great too. But Dusty Rhodes had a tremendous character. But I got to go with the icon. I got to go with Sting. It's a shame in round two that Sting's against Stone Cold Steve Austin because I don't know if he's going to get past him. Chris Jericho and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's on here. That's cool that Samoa Joe's on here. I don't think he should be a top 50 wrestler. Or I mean, yeah, not a top 50 wrestler. He's number 49 and Jericho's 16. I'm going with the Ayatollah of rock and rolla. I'm going with Chris Jericho. Now we got Eddie Guerrero and Gunther. How's Gunther on here? What? Don't you have to finish a career first, or at least wrestle more, like in WWE for like 5-6 years to do that? Unless you have a run like Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar or someone like that, that's different. I'm going Eddie Guerrero. Come on, what are we doing here? Triple H and JBL. Triple H is definitely in my top 10. One of the best wrestlers of all time. I love when wrestlers can become a great heel and a great face. And Triple H was a very good face, especially when he returned from his quad injury back in 2002. And he's one of the most diabolical heels of all time. So is JBL. I mean, everyone hated JBL back in 2004, but you cannot compare him to Triple H. Triple H moves on. Andre the Giant and the British Bulldog. British Bulldog's great, man. He had some awesome matches, but we got to go with Andre. I mean, just with the history of Andre the Giant, the memorable moments and what he did for the industry, I'm going with Andre the Giant. Randy Savage and Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner in the top 64? I don't know about that. And Randy Savage is definitely a top 10 to 15 wrestler ever. So we're going Randy Savage here. Ooh, some love for Batista. I love it. Batista and Ted DiBiase. I think Ted DiBiase is one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. He was a fantastic heel, great gimmick. Love that laugh. I would demonstrate it for you guys, but I can't do that. But I'm going with the Animal Batista. After the Attitude Era, after we had guys like The Rock leave to go to Hollywood, Stone Cold was done, mainly because of all of his neck injuries. They had to hand the mantle to a guy, and John Cena took it, but the other mantle, especially at first, was Batista. Back in 2005, when Batista won the Royal Rumble, he beat Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. They gave him the mantle. He was the bigger face of the company at that time. But then John Cena just slowly started getting that mantle, and definitely was more kid-friendly than Batista for sure. But Batista was great. One of the best wrestlers of the Ruthless Aggression era. Hulk Hogan and Big Boss Man. R.I.P. to the Big Boss Man. R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan as well. But I mean, we're going with the Hulkster here. Can't debate that much. I mean, the guy's one of the best of all time. Booker T and Jake the Snake Roberts. Woo! Man, this is the hardest first round matchup so far. Booker T, Jake the Snake Roberts. I love Booker T. I think Booker T is one of the most underrated wrestlers of his time for sure. People just see him as like a gimmick and a funny catchphrase now since he's an announcer for NXT. But I'm going Jake the Snake Roberts here. I mean, it's a shame the guy never won a world championship. The guy had a tremendous act, great wrestler, great on the mic. I'm going Jake Snake. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. It's pretty easy for me. I love Drew McIntyre. He's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. But we're going with the Viper, Randy Orton. He's in my top 10 of all time. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. You know, if we're saying Bryan Danielson, which is different than Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, that's different than Sheamus. And Daniel Bryan, obviously his peak was way higher than Sheamus. I mean, he was the biggest babyface in the company for like 2 years, 2014 and 2015, or at least half of 2015 before he got hurt. But I'm going Sheamus just because of his longevity, because Daniel Bryan just fizzled out because of his injuries, and it's a shame. But I'm not going Daniel Bryan over Sheamus here. It feels Bryan Danielson, of course, and Bryan Danielson would go extremely far in this tournament. But if we're just saying Daniel Bryan, no. John Cena and the Iron Sheik. Much love to the Iron Sheik. Such a cool gimmick back in the day. Wrestling, of course, was way different back then, so you got to so context matters, because that character probably would not work today. But we're going John Cena. I mean, John Cena is, spoiler alert, he's going to go very, very far in this tournament. I'm a huge John Cena fan. Big Show and Scott Hall. Ooh. Big Show and Scott Hall. This is a tough one. Now, if that's Razor Ramon, I think I'm going to lump them together because it's different than Daniel Bryan and Bryan Danielson. Because in WWE, Daniel Bryan was never Bryan Danielson. He was that in Ring of Honor and in AEW. Scott Hall was Razor Ramon and Scott Hall both in WWE. So I'm going to take both of those into consideration. And I'm going to pick Razor Ramon / Scott Hall over the Big Show. Mick Foley and Cody Rhodes. Love Cody Rhodes. Love what he's done for the company. I think he should be higher than 53 for sure. Not top 25. I know Bleacher Report had him like top 25 when they made a list like last year or the year before, and that was a little bit too soon. But Cody Rhodes has been the face of the company since he's returned to WWE. I know people are kind of over his babyface run. I am too. I want to see him as a heel because he's menacing as a heel like he was in Ring of Honor. But I'd go with Mick Foley here. For now, I'm going Mick Foley. Just so many iconic moments. The hardcore legend, huge fan favorite as well. I'm going Mick Foley. Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. I love Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is one of the most polished wrestlers ever, in my opinion. Great in the ring, great character work. He's able to transform his character year in and year out. I'm going Seth Rollins. The Undertaker and Asuka. It's a shame for Asuka because I love Asuka, love her work, especially when she debuted. When she debuted on the main roster, like she was awesome. First inaugural Women's Royal Rumble winner. But I mean, come on, you're against a true legend in The Undertaker, so not many people in this tournament are going to beat him. Roddy Piper and Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect. Man, this is a tough one. Both of them never won a WWE championship, a WWE World Championship, which is insane. Both of them should have been both great heels. I think if we're going all around, taking in the full character work, I do take Roddy Piper mainly because of the promo skills. Now, character work, Mr. Perfect was awesome. I loved his vignettes of him smacking home runs and him like not missing a shot in the gym and him throwing a football, running and catching it. But I'm going with the hot rod here, Roddy Piper. Edge and Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. The guy's a great face. The guy's a great heel. The guy's great on the mic. The guy's awesome in the ring. But I'm going Edge. Edge was, man, talk about a fantastic heel. So good on the mic. He made people hate him. And what a transformation from going from a tag team wrestler to a fantastic single star, like in a pretty short time. So I'm going Edge here for sure. Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. Now, I would say I'm not a huge Roman Reigns fan, and I'm not talking about him personally. I have nothing against him personally. Actually, I think he's a great person, but I find his style so slow and so boring. Like for the Undertaker, it works because of his character, because he's the dead man, he's the phenom. It's part of his shtick with his entrance. With Roman, it's a little bit. It doesn't quite fit, and his OTC character to me as a babyface doesn't fit. How can you be a tribal chief when you have no tribe anymore? But I realize he's made a lot of he's had great accomplishments for sure, and I cannot deny that. Hats off to Roman Reigns. He has been the face of this era, and Finn Balor just has kind of dropped the ball in the main roster. Now, my hope is Finn Balor, hopefully in 2026, is going to have a big year, and I think he's earned that. I think he's going to turn babyface and fight Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania, and I think he's going to be one of the biggest babyfaces on Monday Night Raw. At least that's what I hope so. But I got to go Roman Reigns here. There is no metric where I can pick Finn Balor over Roman Reigns. Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. First of all, Bob Backlund is not 58. How is Samoa Joe over Bob Backlund? Come on. Hold on. I'm going to drink my coffee. I'm going Bret, the Hitman Hart here. Guy was the excellence of execution, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So yeah, Bret Hart. This is not even a discussion, in my opinion. I don't think anyone considers Bob Backlund a top 10, 15 wrestler ever. I think many people pick Bret Hart in their top 10 for sure. Minimum top 15. Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna. Ooh, this is a tough one. Ultimate Warrior had the character, right? Had a great entrance, music, cool attire. But I'm going Yokozuna here. I loved his character so much. Yokozuna was awesome. He was actually a good wrestler for being a big man for sure. R.I.P. to him as well. I'm going Yokozuna here over the Ultimate Warrior. I know many people will not like that, but this is my tournament. This is what I see in a wrestler. Ric Flair and Diamond Dallas Page. I love DDP, man. It's DDP, but you ain't beating Ric Flair. The dirtiest player in the game, the Nature Boy, one of the all-time greats. I gotta go with Ric Flair here. It's a tough one. This is Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy. Oh, man. I think I'm going to go Rey Mysterio here. As much as I like Jeff Hardy, I don't think he's had the singles career like Rey Mysterio has. I mean, Rey Mysterio has pretty much been a singles wrestler like ever since he debuted in WWE in 2002. I mean, yes, he was in a tag team with Edge for sure in 2022, but then shortly after that, he became a cruiserweight champion and all that kind of stuff. But I love Rey Mysterio, man. I mean, the guy's had so many great matches. The guy, in my opinion, is pretty underrated on the microphone. He's had some great feuds, like with Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho, just to name a few. His son Dom. I'm going Rey Mysterio. The Rock and Mr. McMahon. First of all, how is Mr. McMahon on here for wrestling? Are you kidding me? I don't even have. I'm not going to waste my time here. I'm going with The Rock. Like, come on, what are we doing? Rob Van Dam and Owen Hart. Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh, this is a really hard one. RVD and Owen Hart. See, I grew up watching more RVD because I was in middle school during the Ruthless Aggression era, so I caught more of the tail end of the Attitude Era. Caught it in from like 99 through 2001. I didn't really watch much of 97, 98. Didn't watch a ton of that. I've rewatched it So I didn't quite get the full Owen Hart experience. I'm going RVD here, but I know a lot of people would pick Owen Hart. And sorry, that's my cat in the background. Brock Lesnar and Sami Zayn. Love Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn deserves a push and deserves his moment to be a world champion. But I'm going Brock Lesnar here. I think Brock Lesnar has, like, he screams aura. Like, when his music hits, you know business is about to happen. And Brock's a phenomenal athlete. Brock Lesnar, he has one of the best, like, main roster debuts and runs ever. Like, right when he came up, instant main eventer. Instant. And I think WWE should do that more often with guys like Obafemi and guys like Trick Williams that, like, you know, they're over already. Like, just shoot them to the moon while they're hot. Don't wait forever like what they've done with LA Knight. And I think people see the expiration date on a guy like him. But Brock Lesnar, he's moving on. CM Punk and Bray Wyatt. Ooh, man. Bray Wyatt is a phenomenal wrestler. Rest in peace, man. It still hits me today that he's gone. He was just an amazing soul. So many great characters, but I got to go CM Punk here. I think also too, just for the way he was booked and his longevity in the company, I'm going CM Punk. But much love to Bray Wyatt. Miss you, brother. Shawn Michaels and Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham, great career, awesome. But I mean, we're going with Shawn Michaels here. Shawn Michaels is in my top 3 wrestlers of all time. He could have a 5-star match with a broom, for goodness sake. The guy was absolutely incredible. Kane and Kevin Nash. I don't really think Kevin Nash had many good matches at all. Not saying Kane had fantastic matches, but Kane was a way memorable character. I think people have more fond memories of Kane, so I'm going Kane for sure. And his character work as a big red monster is unmatched. Kurt Angle and Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. Even if it was Jon Moxley, he can't shine Kurt Angle's shoes. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Kurt Angle was tremendous in TNA, tremendous in WWE. It's a shame that his WWE career was cut short because of all of his neck injuries, because he was phenomenal. People talk about Kurt Angle's in-ring skill, and yeah, I think he's one of the best in-ring wrestlers ever. But people don't understand like how great his mic work was and his character work. He was funny. He was hilarious on the microphone, and people hated him, man. When he used to flaunt those gold medals, like back in 2000, 2001, man, people hated him. And then when the "You Suck" chant started, that just elevated that so much. I love Kurt Angle. The Miz and AJ Styles. I love The Miz. I hate what WWE has done with him lately. They've made him just a sideshow, and he's like a WrestleMania host every year and a backstage freaking segment every week. That's all he does. But AJ Styles here, man. I mean, 10 phenomenal years in WWE. Two solid title runs. Like, I love AJ Styles, man. He was just awesome. Great in the ring. Great on the mic. AJ Styles is moving on. All right, so that is round 1. Before we get to round 2, make sure that you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I want you to comment below with your best wrestler of all time. All right, let's get back into it. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Sting. Like I said earlier, love Sting, phenomenal wrestler, great career. But you're going against the Rattlesnake, and you're not going to beat the Rattlesnake. Greatest peak in wrestling history. One of the best characters ever, the best babyface of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, and Eddie Guerrero. Oh my goodness gracious. This is literally as even as it comes. Both. So Eddie, in my opinion, better in the ring. But Jericho wasn't bad at all. Better on the mic, Chris Jericho. Better character work. Ooh, that's like a push. Both of them are tremendous faces and great heels. People forget Eddie Guerrero was a phenomenal heel back in 2005. So I take all of that all together. I'm I'm going Chris Jericho here. It's really darn close though, but I definitely think that his body of work also helps too, and of course, it's a shame because if Eddie Guerrero still would have been wrestling in the late 2000s, early to mid 2010s, I think Eddie Guerrero would be solidified in the top 10 regardless because he was just absolutely tremendous. And RIP to Eddie, just definitely. Well, when we heard that news that he passed away, it's like all of us lost a little something, you know. And I love Eddie and miss Eddie, but I'm going with Chris Jericho mainly because of the longevity and him just performing at a high level for a very long time. Triple H and Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, I know a lot of people would put him like on their Mount Rushmore, top 10 wrestlers ever, especially what him and Hogan did for the business. But I'm going Triple H here. I think Triple H was fantastic. I know a lot of people give him crap for his booking and stuff now. I do, trust me, more than anybody. But if we're talking performer, wrestler Triple H, he is one of the best ever. Randy Savage and Batista. Love Batista. But I don't think that Batista, his mic work and his character work can light a candle to Macho Man Randy Savage. I think Macho Man Randy Savage was way more transcendent. So he's moving on to the next round. Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake, awesome. But I mean, Hulk Hogan here. I mean, come on. Like, one of the best professional wrestlers ever. Arguably the biggest professional wrestler ever. As in like popularity wise. So Hulk Hogan moves on. Randy Orton and Sheamus. I love Sheamus. I wish we saw more of Sheamus on a weekly basis, but we don't anymore. I don't know why. But Randy Orton, I mean, come on. The Legend Killer, one of the best heels of all time. The guy, ever since he's came back, is one of the biggest baby faces in the company. He always gets a pop. People always sing his music. They love Randy Orton. RKO, best finisher of all time, because he could do it to anyone and it could come out of nowhere. Randy Orton has that tremendous moments, tremendous matches. His in-ring psychology is so good. I'm going Randy Orton here. John Cena and Scott Hall. Love Scott Hall. But I'm going John Cena here. No, I'm not going to dig too deep into that one because I don't need to. Mick Foley and Seth Rollins. Love Mick Foley. Love what he did for the business. But when we're talking about Seth Rollins, we're talking about one of the best in-ring workers, one of the best character shifters, a great heel, a great face. No. Okay. I was about to say, sorry, Mick, but your run ends here. Seth Rollins moving on to the Sweet 16. The Undertaker and Roddy Piper. Kind of the same thing. Piper, great. Great on the mic. Great character work, but we're talking about the best character ever and a man synonymous with WrestleMania and Undertaker had great matches. Like a lot of people don't give him enough credit for some of his matches, but not just with Shawn Michaels, but also with guys like Kurt Angle and guys like Brock Lesnar. Like he had some really good matches. CM Punk at WrestleMania, Edge. Speaking of Edge and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns one day will probably surpass Edge, but not right now. I don't think in totality his career matches up to Edge. In my opinion, Edge was a better heel. I think Roman Reigns is a great heel. And Edge is a way, way better babyface in my opinion too. So I'm going Edge here. Bret Hart and Yokozuna. Yokozuna was awesome, but we're talking about the excellence of execution here. We're going Bret Hitman Hart. Bret Hart might get mad if I didn't pick him there. Ric Flair and Rey Mysterio. I love Rey. I know some people might pick Rey Mysterio over Ric Flair, but I'm not going to. Because even in WWE, Ric Flair still had a great career. And the guy just had it all. I mean, his character work was so freaking awesome. I loved him on the mic. His backstage segment, he was so funny. Like, there's nothing Ric Flair could not do. The Rock and RVD. Oh man, I'm going The Rock here. RVD was great. The 5-star frog splash is one of my favorite finishers of all time. But you can't compete with The Rock. I mean, come on. Like, The Rock is one of the biggest stars in wrestling history, arguably number one, especially with his stardom in Hollywood. Gotta go with him. Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. Ooh, man, this is a good one here. I love CM Punk. Love his mic work. I'm leaning Brock Lesnar here, though. I think Punk's absence from WWE kind of hurt him. I think if he would have just played out his entire career in WWE, I would pick CM Punk. But I'm picking Brock Lesnar here. Shawn Michaels and Kane. Love Kane, what he did for the business. We're going HBK. I don't have to explain more. He's arguably the GOAT. Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. AJ Styles, amazing wrestler. But we're talking about the best wrestler in WWE history, in my opinion, in-ring wrestler, in Kurt Angle. And I think Kurt Angle had better character work, and I think he had better mic skills. Not saying AJ Styles was bad. Not by any means. I love AJ Styles. But he's not moving on to Sweet 16. Sweet 16, number 1 and number 16, Austin and Chris Jericho. We're going Stone Cold Steve Austin. Love you, Y2J. Y2J was one of the reasons why I got into wrestling, because my first experience watching wrestling was his debut. And what a debut it was, coming out and interrupting The Rock. I fell in love with Jericho instantly, but Austin moves on. Triple H and Randy Savage. I'm going Triple H here. Randy Savage was awesome, but I'm going with the Cerebral Assassin. Tremendous heel, great face, awesome matches. Again, not saying that Randy Savage didn't have those things, but I'm going Triple H. Hulk Hogan and Randy Orton. I love the Hulkster and what he did for the business, but I'm going Randy Orton here, and I think because like popularity, of course, it's Hogan. Probably big moments, it's Hogan, of course. But in-ring work, and mic skills, give me Orton over Hulk Hogan. So Orton advances. Cena and Seth Rollins. Love Seth. This is just a bad matchup for him. You're going against the GOAT, John Cena. The guy who did it for 20 plus years, the guy who held this business on his back, the guy who took the business from performing in bingo halls to football stadiums, the guy who had some underrated matches against Edge, Umaga, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar. Give me John Cena all day. Undertaker and Edge. Love Edge. But you're against the Phenom, man. You're going to lose to Undertaker again. I'm sorry. The Undertaker, like what I said, I mean, just 30 years in the business, fantastic feuds, the best character ever. He's moving on. Bret Hart and Ric Flair. Woo! All right, who's moving on to the Elite Eight? I'm more of a WWE guy, so I'm gonna say that if we're talking strictly WWE, I'm going Bret Hart here. I believe his WWE career was better than Ric Flair's. The Rock and Brock Lesnar. I love Brock, but no, you're not moving on. The Rock, way better on the mic. Character work was tremendous. I love the final boss as well. And The Rock also had some really good matches too. I mean, was The Rock a phenomenal wrestler? No. But was he bad by any means? No. No, he was not. And in so many iconic moments, The Rock's moving on. Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. My cat really wants to get out of here. But I'm going HBK here. I think Shawn Michaels, like his prime was almost the second half of his career, which is crazy to think. Like, obviously, Shawn in the 90s was great, but look at him post 2002. His return match against Triple H, fantastic. Being in the inaugural Elimination Chamber, fantastic. Facing off against Triple H and Chris Benoit at WrestleMania 20, fantastic. Against Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21, fantastic. Against John Cena at WrestleMania, fantastic. So many awesome matches. The Undertaker twice. Kurt Angle, Kurt Angle also at Vengeance 2005, which a lot of people forget about that match. Like, Shawn Michaels was just awesome his entire career. He's moving on. Stone Cold and Triple H. Whew. Now, obviously, Triple H did it longer, but I think the impact that Austin had was bigger. Austin's moving on. Randy Orton and John Cena. Woo! One of the biggest rivalries of all time going head to head here, but I'm going with the guy, John Cena. He was always the guy. Like, as much as Randy Orton was the guy, like in 2009, as a heel, like he never was quite the face of the company like John Cena was, and doesn't have as many memorable moments as John Cena does. So I'm going Cena. Undertaker and Bret Hart. Love Bret. You're not getting past the Undertaker. I'm sorry. Ooh, man, The Rock and Shawn Michaels. This is a good one. Whew. I'm going Shawn Michaels here. Better in ring. People sleep on Shawn Michaels on the mic. Is he The Rock? No, he's not. But his longevity, because The Rock didn't wrestle very long in WWE. And Shawn Michaels had like 2 full careers. And like I said, just all the great matches that Shawn Michaels had, I'm going him. So he's moving on. Bye-bye, Rock. The final 4, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Before we get started here, make sure that you guys comment with who you think should be in the finals here and who should be the winner. So Stone Cold and John Cena, who should win? And Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, who should win? I'll admit, I'm biased. I'm biased towards John Cena. I think that the longevity puts it over the top with him. And I have to be consistent because I held that against Ric Flair in WWE. So I got to stay consistent, and I'm going John Cena over Stone Cold Steve Austin. As much as Stone Cold Steve Austin made a huge impact in WWE, I get that. But he really only had like 4 years of impact. John Cena's had 20 years. 20 years of impact. So I'm going with that guy, the GOAT. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. I'm going HBK. Shawn Michaels has the total package for a wrestler. He really does. Shawn Michaels is absolutely tremendous. Not saying the Undertaker isn't, because obviously he made it to the Final 4. But I don't think I think what sets him back is the mic work and the in-ring work. And it had to be slower and more methodical because that was the Undertaker's character. But I have to nitpick here. I mean, we're talking Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker here. It's like, it's basically 1A and 1B. But I'm going with that guy. And we're now the finals. John Cena and Shawn Michaels. You know, for the longest time, I have said John Cena is my GOAT. And Shawn Michaels has been my 2. And now after thinking about it and going through this tournament, the winner is Shawn Michaels. As much as I love John Cena, and I'm a huge John Cena fan, Cena's better on the mic. Character-wise, I think it's pretty close. In-ring-wise, it's Shawn Michaels. Memorable matches, it's Shawn Michaels. And longevity, I know Cena has longevity, but Shawn Michaels also had a very long career too. And he had a tremendous impact on the business as well. Probably not as big as John Cena, but if we take everything into account, and I'm nitpicking here, the in-ring work matters. And Shawn Michaels, his WrestleMania matches and moments are some of the biggest in wrestling history. So, Shawn Michaels is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Comment below with your guys' thoughts. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. For next week's tournament as we talk about who is the greatest basketball player of all time. Peace.